I
All
just
right,
looked that
guys.
way.
We'll go ahead and get started. We are recording. There's several people that wanted to hear what we've got today, Ben. We're talking about Sun and Fun. But we'll have our standard reports, and then we'll also have a brief review of some of the highlights for Sun and Fun. And I'll try to keep up with who's trying to join in the meantime. Let me see, staying 51. Right now we've got Obi, Benji, Bill, George Bartuska, Walt Schammel, Jack Mendez, Mark Davis, Steve Graff, Tweet Coleman, Vicky, Sherman, Joel Weaner. And is Bill up there with you, Joel? Bob Nacero.
No, Bill's in remedial training and where is that? Executive flight training in Beaufort today.
Okay, Jack Mendez, John Mahany, Rich Spoiler, Ted on his iPhone. This thing keeps changing as y'all are moving along. Anyway, who was that Stallion 51 that gives it? Okay, there you are. Rich, you were at Stallion 51. You want to give a report on what we did there?
Yeah, I mean, we had a good day of filming and everybody learning the cameras and the angles, and it was good seeing Lee. You know, he was able to talk about the gliders, and it was a good day promoting. Did some ads for Sun and Fun, and
okay. And the next one up was Seminole Lake, and this was another training deal while we're promoting aviation and aviation safety, and of course the seniors. Tweet, you want to give a little brief report on that?
Sure. Good morning, everybody. We had a great day, Saturday. I think they said there were like 65 gliders there. And just off this side, my favorite glider was a South African glider. And John, the owner, had a small engine in the back, and he showed me the engine. That was pretty cool. He said he could get another 40 miles from that glider, and his wife didn't have to go to unknown airports to pick him up. So that was pretty cool. But all in all, it was a good day. We had several reviews. Diego was there. The famous Cubano, Diego, was there, and he did some interviews as well as I did. So it was a good training day. Thank you, Obi.
Okay, and for those of you who are not on the telecom, today I'm recording this, and then we'll have it available for you to view later on. Back with our standard announcements, this is Saturday morning at 8:30, and it started years ago when we had nights and weekends free on the cell phones. And this is the 202nd consecutive telecom every month for about 17 years. We've been doing this, Ben. Back with free conference calls before videos and all that, and then we transitioned the videos, and now we're on Zoom. And so glad you're here taking Saturday morning for an hour here, maybe a little bit longer today. And in the agenda, much like the monthly newsletter, there's a lot of hyperlinks to try to cover everything. Ramona's out shopping for Sun and Fun right now, getting some stuff together for snacks and stuff like that. George is going to be taking care of the donuts for us from Krispy Kreme, I think. So that's set up. Terry's working on the administrative portion right now. And basically, we don't have our call from the credentials office saying they're ready yet. So it's probably I'm going to go there Tuesday and try to pound on the table or something and get the credentials so we can give them to you next weekend, like we have for the last couple of years. But anyway, birthday this month, Marianne Massengale, that's Buzz Massengale's wife, Mike Neal, who's our audio guy here at the studio, Jack Mendez, who is online right now. Happy birthday. Keith Parsons, who I don't think will be at Sun and Fun. Andrew Mueller, Travis Brown, Bob Law, Shelley Hurst, which is Phil's wife. Honestly Christmas, Actually, that is her name. And Ginger Addlestone. Ginger is going to be working administrative with us at Sun and Fun again. She's coming back because we found ourselves a little weak this year in some areas because of crew changes. Debbie Stern, or Deb Stern, as she likes to be called. Merlin Shrike, who is our parachutist expert, and Jacob Brander, who is Bradner, that's Lori's son. And there comes Ron Timmermans. Ron T. Okay. Ramona's writing the birthday card, so by all means, whenever you get a chance, if you know any of these people, and Bill said he'd send me his address, Ben, and he has yet to do that, and some of these other folks. Larry Moore has coordinated a discount with B&H Photography, and it does work. I've had a couple of people said that they've done that, and the discounts are there, and that's easy enough to do. It depends on the manufacturer, but you get a little bit of a break. Here's some of our industry supporters. Some of these are from the class reunion that we had at the beginning of the year, primarily the CFI of the year, and we'll talk more about that and the GA awards in just a minute. And these are our major supporters as we start in the 23. And one name that's not on here that just came in yesterday is Steve Brady. Steve Brady is a gold sponsor for ours. And thanks again, John Tenney, for coming on board with us here. I think, yep, there you are. And Neiman Electronics, every year when we go into wiring and stuff like that, they're jolly on the spot. Now I'm going to take just a minute, back up, and hopefully get this. Yeah. Try to share the screen here. Screen share. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's up.
This is basically our
You're sharing your whole desktop, just as long you're not sharing. We're seeing your whole desktop, just so you know that.
Okay, yeah, I'm doing my computer slightly different today, so I'm actually looking at y'all in the face instead of down at the material. So, I'm a little bit different, but anyway, the General Aviation Awards program has gone through some changes over the last couple of years, as is the FAA, and they've changed it from local, regional, and national, primarily just a local and national. But we're still supporting the program, and we're promoting the program to all aviators, not just the winners and participants, but to all aviators to participate in these programs. What we're trying to do is improve the professionalism of aviation, whether you're a pilot, mechanic, avionics technician, or whatever. And we're doing this through a celebration at Orlando and at Lakeland and at Sun and Fun. And this year at Sun and Fun, the used to be regional, but now it's called something else. I don't know what, but as they go up through the ranks, we're going to be honoring a couple of national winners there, who were Bill Ross and Bob Rasky. And Bob is one of our own. Bob has been a supporter both financially and spiritually for probably 10 or 15 years, but he just never put application in. So we encouraged him this year. And that's what we want to do, is encourage everybody to do that, because it makes you really look at your own life. This is some of the activities going to be going on that day. Bob and Bill are going to be on set to begin with, and later Bob and Karen. We've got a photo op set up several places with Stallion 51, and then the next day is when we're going to have the activities over at the AOPA, where they give him a plaque of congratulations for participating in the program. And we have, as you can see, several of the notable quotables there. Later on, we'll be running over to NAFI and to Superior Airports, where Bob works there. I'm going to stop share there. So now we're back to our activity here. I'm going to try to pull up something else here. This is something that Ginger sent to us, and hopefully everybody had a chance to look at it. And this is the site map. We're right here where that little thing is going around on the screen. That's as you come in, you come down Medulla Road, and we're right there. The yellow lot, it looks like it's pretty close on this map. But Ben, what do you think it is? About a mile, mile and a half, something like that?
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit of a hoof, and they say the trams are going to be running on a regular schedule, but they haven't released what that schedule is yet. So if anybody happens to know that schedule, if you would advise us. It used to be every 30 minutes, but they were talking about every hour. And my God, in an hour's time, you could walk from the yellow lot over to the school. Some of you will be parking in the media and exhibit parking that you see here. Some of you would be parking in the school. We don't know how many yet because we don't have the forms and everything. I have some ballpark information that I'm going to share with you in just a minute. Some of you will be parking in the general parking and the preferred parking, and it's because you want to. The handicap is fairly close to the school. So if you go into the preferred parking, general parking, and you go to the school, it's not that far. This is the main admission that we see. Here's the 727. I know this is confusing when you look at it. It's like you're in a glass cockpit when you first look at it. There's an awful lot of information there. But if you just look at the stuff that you want to know about, it gets pretty evident. Any questions about the site map?
Obi, is this an up-to-date site map? I sent one over to you and all the volunteers just recently. I don't know if this is up to date.
Is this the one that had a whole bunch of gibberish advertisement with it?
I think so. It was basically something you print up into a trifold.
Yeah, because it had a tremendous amount of advertisement. It got really distracting, so we just cut out all the advertisement. And
Okay.
Look over here to the left, the legend, and you can blow this up if you've got an iPad or a computer or something like that. Basically, here is the FAA facility. I think that's FAA.
That's it. That's it.
And right next to it there is where the AOPA 10 is. So, Rich,
you know what, Opie? That's an old map.
Yeah.
Because the 927 is where the home build is now. It is right in front of the old announcer stand.
Over here?
Yeah. Well,
No. Oh,
this map has a half-life of about.
And that it's there. All the chalets have moved off the Warbird ramp to that area over there.
Okay.
The ramp's going to have nothing in front of it this year.
We're going to stop sharing that, and we will send you, if somebody can send me a map like that, we'll try to dispense it out. But anyway, the areas that I just pointed out to you, I think are relevant. Hope so anyway.
Yeah, one thing to know for the audience is that the yellow lot is about as far east as you can go on the Lakeland Airport property. It's right around the Polk State College campus. It's that big parking lot just southwest of the Polk State College.
yeah, it's on the other side of Airfield Road. The road that goes off of Pipkin.
I think that's Old Medulla Road.
Old Medulla. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good hook.
Hopefully you can see here, this is the parking. We had 3 different areas. We have the school. We've got 10 assigned there, camping, 15 assigned there, media, 16 assigned there. And that's a total of 41. And the yellow, we have 24. So that's a total of about 65 or 66. And this is a changing deal. So some of the names you see here will probably change throughout the week, but that's the names that we have when we submitted, and we will probably change that again. So, but anyway, that's what we've got right now for that one. And hold on a minute, let me see if I can drag some of this stuff out of the way. Okay, stop share. Media and camping. Ben, are you going to be camping or at home?
I'll be at home. I was going to hit Walt up for his spot, but I just didn't want to navigate that quagmire of, trying to get in.
Okay. In the media lot, here are the names that we've got there. George, Lori, John, Ben, Tweet, Larry, Steve Graff, Joel Hargis, Jennifer King. And obviously some of these people are working 3 days and then other people are working 3 days. So it's not like all these people are going to be there at one time. So it kind of ebbs and flows. And sometimes we get questions about, why do you have so many? Well, they're not there for the whole week, but their name is on the list. We still don't have an idea how they're going to control this. In the past, they've sent a letter out to the individuals, and you take the letter and you put it in your windshield, and then you go get your credentials, and then you come back. What we're told is that we're going to get all of that stuff, and we're going to take it right to the school. And probably next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, if you come to the school while we're setting up, we'll just give your credentials then. And right now we're going to try to show you the camping deal, and y'all can't see that right now, can you? Okay, where is, oh yeah, you can. This is the camping numbers here, and that's where we come up with those numbers. And these things are well, this one's not current. Okay, this is an old list where Walt and Jackie are off of there, but it is still 16 or something like that. Let me see if I can get this back. And we'll.
Walt, I'll give you a call offline.
Okay. We'll take just a minute. Let me get my act together, and we'll ask for updates and reports at this time. So give me the act a minute to figure out what the heck I'm doing here with all these screens. Accident reports, Ben Coleman.
Okay, hello group. We go back basically a month and concentrate on the state of Florida, and it's just because it'd just be too vast, and we just want to talk about things that have kind of happened in our backyard. Sarasota last month, we almost made it an Air Canada and an American Airlines. Air Canada was cleared to take off, and American Airlines was cleared to land at the same time. They came pretty close. American had to. It was a crew initiated go around, but it was pretty dramatic. It got the safety board involved, and there's been around the country, as you know, kind of a larger, more amounts of close calls than we like to see. And eventually, unfortunately, we just don't want the inevitable to happen. But that was last month, Sarasota. In Miami, we had a Cessna 172 taken off of a training flight, and the instructor said the engine made a knocking noise followed by oil pressure drop and this funny odor in the cockpit, and the engine stopped turning. at seas. They put it in, had some serious injuries there. They put it down on Everglades, and they did not nose over, but they hit pretty hard, and had an RV taken off out of Milton, Florida, just finished his annual inspection, and pilot reported a sucking sound followed by a loss of power, and they put it in. So we're seeing more, as usual. We see more maintenance related situations coming up and occurrences, and of course last week the tragedy at Winter Haven with the midair between Polk State PA-28 and one of Jack Brown's Cubs on floats, 4 fatal, and that's really shaken the area, and it is another wake-up call, and there's going to be a lot of changes come out of that result. And I think the seaplane base is going to continue to operate, but they're just going to do it with some enhanced safety systems in place. And it's, I don't know if, is everyone familiar with what happened there? Okay. Yeah, the Cub was returning from, and it wasn't an instructional flight. It was more of a kind of a let's go flying. Guy comes down every year, just goes up just because he loves flying Cubs, and Lou DeFazio was on board, and they were returning low level, and of course PA-28 was in the pattern and practicing engine out maneuvers or commercial maneuvers, and they got together, and there will be a lot more come out of that. There's a lot of witnesses, but basically they came together, and just can't emphasize enough, head on a swivel. But I think we're going to start seeing the Cubs at least monitor CTAF around that area as a minimum, and it's Winter Haven has been a hot spot for many years, and I see them getting a tower there just to try and control some of the traffic in the coming years. But guys, it was tragedy. It hit close to home and hit some of our dearest friends, Polk State, and of course the seaplane base. So let's just kind of keep our fingers crossed and wish him well. John is he's in overload. Give him a little space, time. He's had an outreach from everybody in the international world as well. So the phones have been ringing off the hook, but it's all for the right intentions. But let's just give him a little bit of room to digest all of this. So
Vicki Sherman. I was able to, hey, Dan, I was able to talk to John because we're having him speak at our, not this month's meeting, safety meeting, but the next month. But I had a nice little conversation, and he was pretty shaken up about it, but he said, I'll be ready to talk in the next meeting. But
yeah,
he's hurting, and like you said, we need to give him space.
Agreed. Thanks, Vicki.
Thanks, guys. And by the way,
Ben, Joel in Jacksonville, we had one here 2 days ago. Owner, operator, man and wife in a T-tail Lance came in Friday evening, and his landing gear collapsed on rollout.
Ooh.
So that one will come up in your next month, but that shut down Craig Airport for a few hours till they got it off the runway. But
hard landing or maintenance?
That's new airplane to the couple. They've only had it 3 or 4 months, so I think they're working the bugs out, and the bug got them. But it's not the first T-tail Lance. Well, the last was the Arrow over Hurlong last month, and this was the T-tail Lance. The T-tail in that configuration airplane is, the nose gear has always been sensitive. So we'll more details whenever we get to our part next week.
All right. Thanks, Joel.
okay, and a reminder for everybody, whenever we're going through the stuff at Sun and Fun, There is no such thing as a secure area. So just remember, anything you write down, anything you do with your iPhone, anything you do in any kind of media, the public can get to it. So just don't think that they don't know. So just be careful what we say and don't repeat anything as far as red birds or anything like that that happens in the meetings and all. Next up is the weather guy, George Bartuska. What we got?
We've got a frontal boundary sweeping through Texas, through northern Florida, all the way out in the Atlantic. The only thunderstorms warnings from the Storm Prediction Center are for northern and central Florida, but they're only at 10%. And there is another atmospheric river brewing that's going to hit Northern California.
Okay, and once again, if we have weather at Sun and Fun, the building is pretty secure. Inside, we got air conditioning and heating and all that stuff, bathrooms and water to drink. So we feel fairly safe there at Sun and Fun. Next up, George, anything on STEM reports or CAP right now?
Just that we're the local CAP chapter. We're getting close to finishing electricity and electronics on a STEM kit. And I'm going to be making a presentation on thunderstorms at the Wing Conference, April 15th. But there's a reorganization going on in CAP, and hopefully weather is going to become a bigger part of it.
Good, good. And I guess we never have got with the weather guy, have we? Sky weather or something. I keep dropping the ball on that, George. I apologize.
No problem.
Come up next to regulatory update, Bob Jex. Lots of good news and some not so good news, I guess. Bob, and hold on just a minute.
Yeah, good morning, Obi. Yeah.
Yeah, you can share the screen, it says.
Okay, stand by. I'll share screen. I've turned off my camera just to sort of free up some bandwidth, and I hope that works because I've been getting people coming in a little bit sketchy. So let's see how this works out. Can you see my screen? You should see story number 1.
Very
okay,
good.
I see the thumbs up from Obi. I'll get going here. Lots to cover, a whole lot to cover. Big FAA has hosted a very wide-scale aviation safety summit. They had it just this week. They hosted an aviation safety summit in McLean, just outside of Washington. More than 200 safety leaders from across the country attended, including EAA and AOPA. I've got links to the story at the bottom of the story, and I added a new one this morning. And if you'd like to see the video with FAA Interim Administrator Billy Nolan, I'll send you that link as well. It's about 2.5 minutes. Does anybody remember this guy? He changed our lives. Rock Rockcastle, our dearly beloved colleague, has gone west. He's taken that final vector of 270. He left this world on Tuesday, March 7th. Everybody who knew him loved him. He will be sorely missed. We have an update to the story that we sent out earlier in the week. The services for Rock will be held on Thursday, the 6th of April at 11 o'clock at Faith Presbyterian Church, 3984 County Road 214 in Oxford, where he lived. And later that day, he'll be interred at the Bushnell National Cemetery. You don't have to write this down. It's not going to be on the quiz. I've already sent out the talking points, so you should have this written down in story number 2. I loved Rock. What a great guy he was. And he was the world record holder of wings phases, by the way, more than 250 phases at the basic, advanced, and master levels each. No one will ever touch that. We loved him. We're really, really going to miss him. The FAA has awarded grants for the development of next generation aviation professionals under 2 different programs. 3 different universities in Florida received about $500,000 each, including Broward College in Pembroke Pines and our beloved Embry-Riddle in Daytona. They got just under $500,000 There's a different part of that grant where my F&E Aviation Maintenance in Miami Springs got $500,000 to develop their programs. You can read about that in story number 3. Story number 4, if you saw the news broadcast the night that this took place, you'll know that Mr. Philip A. Washington is the Biden nominee for the next FAA administrator. He provided congressional testimony in front of the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation. That was his confirmation hearing, and he testified in front of a bunch of Republicans, including Ted Cruz, who grilled him pretty intensely. That's him during his testimony. The story I provided for you this morning comes out of the New York Times. I invite you to read it and to explore any other news feeds so you know what we might be getting in terms of a new administrator. Story number 5, the FAA Civil Registry is now online. There's a story out of that, out of the current FAA Aviation Safety Briefing. Pretty good story, especially if you have a registered aircraft. Item number 6, this is IA renewal month for all of the A&P IAs around the country. I don't know why they don't spread it out over the year. They clump it into alternate marches on odd numbered years. And so the Orlando FSDO is getting crushed with this, but we're keeping up with it. And we're getting everything done. You can read about what's going on in the IACRA world, which is tied into this in story number 6. Our FAASTeam training topic of the month is how to gauge the size of an email audience for a SPAN seminar. Use a 100-to-1 ratio. You can read about that in story number 7. Topics of the month. We move to April, best glide speed. And I've got a very loyal volunteer out of Titusville, and his name is Joe Schmaltz. He's doing these every month. I invite the other reps and lead reps to look at these lists as well. We also move into the third quarter for the aviation or airworthiness topics of the quarter, and our topic of the quarter will be first flight after major maintenance. Item number 10, the new FAA safety briefing is out. It's a great issue. It's about avoiding in-flight emergencies and coping with them if they pop up. There's a picture of what the cover page looks like. And inside the magazine on page 5, you will find the FAA Safety Center's forums for the week during Sun and Fun. So that's all good stuff. Take a look at that. And by the way, lead reps, if you are not getting this magazine on distribution and you'd like to, please contact me after the session today. Upcoming topics and themes for the rest of the year are shown there below in story number 10. No updates to airman certifications. Upcoming RSAT meetings. I've changed the format a little bit for everybody to see who to contact in air traffic and how to reach them. I've got assigned RSAT meetings for each of the lead reps in the different areas around the district. That's all shown there. Everybody loves to use these live in-person seminars, and I don't blame them. I would do that too. Everything in red is a live in-person seminar. Things in black are virtual meetings. Item number 12, regulatory trivia. Can you use a paper pilot certificate? And the answer is no, but heck no. I've covered some regulatory references on the prohibition of paper pilot certificates, other than a temporary, of course. Florida Air Show and Events calendar, obviously at the very top of the list is Sun and Fun. You can read about other stuff coming up in our list there in story number 14. Dates of latest editions is 23rd of February for all of your 56-day release cycles. And the future dates are listed there as well. Very, very busy weekend at Cape Canaveral. We watched a rocket launch last night. So a lot of these might be down now, the space operations TFRs. But there's a few others that are still active and ongoing for the next several days. And you may be asking, okay, how come Sun and Fun isn't on here as a TFR? They're covered under separate TFRs when the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds are flying. And we've covered those in the past, but the specific Sun and Fun NOTAM is listed in a link there underneath that screenshot. You can link to the Sun and Fun NOTAM, and I encourage you, if you're flying into Sun and Fun, please, 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 please be very familiar with that publication, that NOTAM. And with that, Obi, I'm just about out of ammo. I added one new link this month for reference, and that is Sun and Fun Select Web Links. The NOTAM is there in the links, and the campus layout, a current campus layout, is there in that link. So if you receive these talking points, you've got this now as a new link. That will save you, Obi, a lot of effort in redistributing this.
Okay.
And with that, sir, I'm handing back over to you. Thank you very much.
All right. Stop screen share.
Got it. Okay.
There you go. Thanks, Bob. And thank you for all that you've done over the years as far as working with the Florida Aviation Network and as far as working with the GA Awards program. And it's been a bit of a challenge, both internally and externally, and we appreciate your support. We couldn't do it without you. I want to thank Billy Hadaway up in Birmingham for his cooperative efforts, and of course the new guy over at Tampa. Still haven't been able to make a good contact down in South Florida, but some of his reps we've worked with. So it's a team effort, and we're trying to improve aviation safety, not in just district, but throughout the area, region, state, or the United States. And it takes a team effort to do that. Coming up next, speaking of team efforts, SAFE, our friends at SAFE, and John Mahany. Have you got anything to share with us today, John? Or
yeah, we got the March newsletter. We'll do. You guys all see this?
Oh yeah.
Here we go, March 2023, and let's see. SAFE's going to be down at Sun and Fun. I won't be there. Aviate, Educate, Elevate. Here we go. You guys know where this is. I don't. Sea Hangar, booth 19 and 20. So they got a morning, the breakfast, all that jazz. So Sunset Cafe. I think I was last at Sun and Fun, how many years? 10 years ago? It's been a while. Anyway, they'll be here. Maybe I'll make it next year. Free top level CFI web courses for members only. And then scrolling down through it, a lot of new stuff. All-in-one check ride templates. Memory gouges for CFIs. This is new, a 3-day IFR clinic in Oshkosh by, I believe it's the education center there. So that looks good. I won't be at that either. More comprehensive guidance for CFIs. Okay, and David St. George has done a really good job on this app that you can put on your device. LODA relief, that's official as of last month. So anyone that got that, including me, that's no longer required. Pilot Pathway Program, now there's one with Spirit Airlines, from 0 to what airline in 2 years with them, I think. DBE scheduling survey. So issues with DBs, you know, not the shortage and having to wait for the check right after your training. Now this is new, a new way to see GA accidents through the NTSB. Charting hotspots are being updated. Facts on air sickness. I don't hear about this very often. Anyway, the great Bob Hoover was terribly airsick when he started flying decades ago. ER Embry-Riddle online ranks 2nd, so that's a good thing. New discount on Flying Magazine, transition training. And let's see, AOPA CFI survey, 100 low lead. Okay, just updates on might be endangered in Washington State. Joby, update on them, the eVTOL. Robots, they're starting to show up everywhere. Anyway, Piper's using them to help build. And professional takes, quick takes for CFIs, tons of stuff. Unleaded electric fuel, safe sponsors. We got more and more sponsors. And let's see. So I don't know these two guys, and that would be that. So that's that. And I told you I got the job starting with professional instrument courses next month. So I'll be traveling to work with people one-on-one on their instrument ratings. So who knows, I might miss a few meetings, don't know what kind of schedule. It'll be like the airlines. Every month will be different. So that's new after not working much for 3 years. And I got to cut out and get ready to driver fly to San Diego. So anyway.
Okay, John, appreciate the update. There's a couple of names on there. Brandon Gardner, who is in Orlando. He was one of the CFIs saluted by AOPA, and he's also one of our sponsors. And the other one down there, Ray, is one of our crew members from years ago at the very bottom, and I believe he's out in Texas, it said, or something like that.
So anyway, I'll sign off. See you guys all later, and we'll follow up online.
Okay, thanks.
Have a good day. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Ron, Timmermans, NAFI report and probably Wings Industry Network. Yes, it's written down there.
Good morning, OB and crew. Thank you very much. Good morning from Nashville today. NAFI has its normal every third Wednesday of each month, their live broadcast called Mentor Live. Earlier this week, on March 15th, they had one. The title was Flight Training with Electronic Flight Bags, presented by Brian Bolander from 4Flight. A great presentation. I'm not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I was not. There was another one in February, and that was Caution Helicopter Wake Turbulence by Ned Parks, a fairly well-known speaker in the aviation industry. And in January, Eliminating the Mindset of Apathy. I haven't seen that one yet, but it's along with 57 other Mentor Lives are archived on the NAFI website, a total of 60 of them, and they keep getting better and better. There are 8 active special interest groups with NAFI now: rotorcraft, gliders, new instructors, drone instructors, instrument instructors, seaplane instructors, instructors teaching instructors, and a 141 instructors group. So there's lots of special interest groups that if you wish to join, you can do that, and they meet generally monthly. NAFI and King Schools are sponsoring a scholarship program, and the 2024 scholarship application period will start this summer of 2023. Risk management titles are available for NAFI members to take advantage of with the King Schools. Practical risk management for pilots, single engine IFR, etc. Several of them. And then there are other King School courses that are available free to NAFI members as well: Surviving Aircraft Systems Emergencies, Surviving Your Most Feared Flying Emergencies, Maneuvers for Commercial Pilot, CFI, and the like. And then this was something new to me. They now have an elite balloon instructor designation. Kind of analogous to it is analogous to the Master CFI program, but this is for LTA instructors, lighter than air balloon instructors. So they're trying to up the professionalism level there in balloon instructing. The professional development program offered by NAFI is a 40-hour program. Courses divided into 5 categories having to do with instruction, the business of flight training, leadership development, human psychology, elective categories as well. All of those are available free to NAFI members as well. Great training there. I've been through quite a few of them already. And then October 24 through 26, later this year in Lakeland, Florida, at the EAA campus, Sun and Fun campus rather, the first ever NAFI Summit will bring the flight instruction community together to share tips, techniques, best practices, relevant business skills, and networking opportunities. More on that later. I will probably seek a opportunity to present at that NAFI Summit later this year. That's it for NAFI. Relative to Wings Industry Network, we will have a couple of presentations during Sun and Fun, among other things showcasing our Easy Wings product that is getting more and more popular and being used more and more. Also, the number of Aviation Learning Center courses that we're developing and putting on the FAAsafety.gov website is ever increasing. It's been a real fulfilling and exciting opportunity with the Wings Industry Network. We continue to add additional organizations to Easy Wings. So now the Bonanza Baron Pilot Training Program, their courses are easily accessed or more easily accessed through Easy Wings and the like. And then relative to Wings seminars, this coming Monday, we'll have the monthly Wings IMC Club Wings Seminar at Sanford Airport beginning at 7 p.m. Speaker this time is Brent Moran. and he'll have another interesting topic, and I'm looking forward to that. Today I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, as I mentioned, presenting the AOPA Rusty Pilots seminar to about 30 or 35 registrants at Tennessee Flight Training. I've been here a number of times to speak at this group or for this flight training organization, and they are always very much on the leading edge of pilot training. That's it for me, Obi. I'm going to have to sign off in just a few minutes and go do that seminar.
Okay, and for those of you who are not members of NAFI, you might consider it, because the discount that you get for ForeFlight, which was the program just the other day, is substantial. It more than pays the cost of joining NAFI. So if you're subscribing to ForeFlight, you might want to consider just joining NAFI, and basically you're getting it free, is what it amounts to. And there's several other benefits that you can check into it there. As far as the Wings Industry Network, they have postponed the broadcast that we turn until next month, which is April the 4th. It's a quarterly broadcast that they come out with. So
April 5th, Obi.
April 5th.
April.
Okay. I just can't read without my glasses too good.
Yeah. And we'll be featuring the American Bonanza Society and their Type Club efforts on safety.
Okay. And Ron has been very active in that and other organizations. If you need somebody to do something, you always go for a busy guy, and that's Ron. Okay. Joel Weaner, what about the Bahamas? And are you ever going to get to be an ambassador?
Well, the Bahamas is just the Bahamas, but I've been down there. Actually, I'm going to north of Luther Tuesday. We had a Learjet run off the runway there last week. We've got to go down and figure out whether we can put it up on jacks and get it back flying, or whether we're going to have to take the wings off of it. I want to get with you on the Memorial Day weekend event, and we'll move for that after Oshkosh, or after we get through Sun and Fun. But that's what we got going on there. Nothing new in the Bahamas. I spent the last week in the Cayman. I've inherited a new job with the PC-12, and I'm just pulling up right now. We're leaving for Texas to take the group that I took to Caymans back to college for spring break. So we're going to run them back to Dallas this morning, and well, Dallas is an all-day trip. It's 4 hours out, 3 hours back. So another long one for me today. But,
and Joel, by the way, rather than pull the wings off the airplane, you take the fuselage off the wings. Good luck.
Yeah, there we go. And I'll have more on the crash down at Winter Haven. The crew that I work for salvaged that airplane, and they're not when there's a death in it, we don't talk about it until the NTSB can do their paperwork. So sad day for everybody.
Yeah.
So, but
Dummy.
Thanks, Joel.
We'll move forward. You got it.
All right. I had this a minute ago, and now I've lost it. That's what happens when you get. There it is. Okay. Can everybody see that poll? Or not?
You're nothing. There's nothing coming up, Obi.
Okay. Can you see the poll now?
You got to click share, I think.
I think it, oh. Can y'all see that?
We see your screen, your desktop. Well, there it is. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh,
Item number 1, will you be re-volunteering at Sun and Fun FAN? Yes or no? Just click whatever you think. There you go.
All three of them came up, by the way.
Oh, well, I was going to show Bob how to do this separately, and I did just like he did the other day, and I got them all three together.
They just did an update on Zoom, and I think they redid the poll options. There's a button you got to go click to get them up to come up one at a time, and I haven't found it yet either. So
Okay. Well, Bob, I was going to show you how to do them one at a time, and it didn't work.
I'm looking forward to learning how to do that, and I'm moving my meeting platforms to Zoom webinars.
Bob, I haven't found it yet. I've been searching the Zoom help info. I have not found out how to do quotes polls one at a time yet. So if I find it, I'll email it to you.
And do the same with me too, because, you know, this is handy once in a while. And we got 10 out of 12 saying, yes, they'll be there. It's 83%. You'll be camping, and we've got 13 reporting and 8 saying no. And then down here, you attending the tail dragger party. And if you have not signed up already, and right now we've got Brian Purdy, Terry Kurtz, Steve Graff, Lori Bradner, Ben and Melody, Larry Moore, John Carter. I guess that's Steve Graff there. I can't read. And then Mark Davis, which I think is a total of about 13 right now. And if it's anybody else who is going, by all means, boom, and share the results. And there comes the results. So y'all can see the results of what I was reading off to you a minute ago. And I'll stop the share there. And we'll get rid of that. And now we're down to supporting with any amount, your calendar, Stallion 51, which we talked about, Sun and Fun, the volunteer meeting on the 4th, and then the senior soaring on at Claremont, which we reported on that, and then the Aerospace Expo, which is the 28th through the 2nd. And that gets again to being like a mouthful. Remember back in the old days, Ben, when we tend to say this airport, this city, this region, all that stuff, you know. So we probably need to think about that again one more time. And I'd asked, I think George, did I talk to you about a program? No, it was Diego. Diego about sharing some time with you on June 24th about his new book, Ben. So one of them would be you with you're being interviewed by Ron about aviation maintenance and plane time and your career and all that stuff. We're kind of trying to archive some of these things before they slip away from us, like with Joe Kittinger in that case. And the other one is the new information with Diego coming out there. So that's going to be on June the 24th. The other two are not set up yet. And our affiliate program is still growing. We just added in, I think, a couple of more affiliates there. And we were going to limit that to about 10 or 12, but we've expanded it more there because we're modifying that as we go. The uniform, something that's different. It used to take 3 weeks. It now takes 4 weeks for anything. They say that they're just maxed out with what they're doing down there, and it could be because of cutbacks or something else. But anyway, just allow 4 weeks for doing that. But if you do want something, it will come in for sure after Sun and Fun. We're still doing network meetings with all this and much more. We're still working with the foundation with our finances and all that stuff. And we always need more. And April 5th, you can see there on the Wings Industry Network is the next thing up. John Pipin up at St. Louis is where he's turning our signal up there like we turn his signal down here. And we're going to add in on our monthly reports, the $300 burger. John said this month he didn't have a report, but perhaps in the future, about once a month, we'd like to hear the lighter side of aviation and just going places and having fun. And we'll now get into reports from the field. But first, I'm going to point out a couple of things to y'all. And I'm going to share the screen, hopefully. I sent you an email and it's got the FAN satellite schedule. Instead of going to the website, when you just archive that email and you click on that link there, and it brings up the current schedule, and you can see up here at the top, this is March the 15th, which is just a couple of days ago. We're learning as we go on this, but anyway, basically this is the day of the week. This is the video number. This means that we have on the Sun and Fun program schedule, both electronically and printed. The printed schedule is already out, so if there are changes, it's not going to happen there. These probably will not change after this week because it's just too much time involved there. The way we pull things out of archives are these numbers, so they're super critical for us. Over here is stuff that we'll go over in the daily meetings at 7:30 and make changes. And they involve field shoots, nice to go to things, and just other information. The career day, who's involved in that, some of the luncheons that Ramona's going to, and some of the luncheons that the GA group is going to. So there's an awful lot of information. This is technical information that we use for post-production. Down here is the type of cameras involved and all that stuff. And once again, if you've got a Nikon and you put your initials on there, that makes it a whole lot easier for us to work with what we're doing there. Let me see if I can get rid of that one. I can. And get rid of this one. Boom. And I'd sent you another email, which is the crew schedule, which all this information is on our website. But sometimes it's easier to just go to an email and click that. And here comes the schedule. I added in the Friday before, when we're transporting stuff from the studio in Orlando to the school over there. And we've got some people that have agreed to help us load up. Brian Purdy's going to have his 24-foot box truck, and then we're going to bring it over and set it up probably 12 or 1 o'clock at the school and start putting everything together. Saturday and Sunday, we continue putting it together. Hopefully we'll have everything finished up by late Sunday, and Monday we'll start doing our broadcast, which will be for our affiliates and everybody else to see that, yes, they have a good signal and we can run tests and all. Then we go on the air publicly to the public on Tuesday through Sunday. The grays means those are communication points that we can communicate with the clear comms. And if you see on here, there is a 2, like down here with Steve Graff. That means that's a second job function, and his first job function is up there at the top. Same thing, but we've got a lot of new people, so we decided to put that up and sort of review it for everybody. Okay, now we're basically around to comments from the field. One more thing I guess I need to share with y'all in case you're not getting the newsletters. Is everybody getting the newsletters? Is anybody not getting the newsletters? Okay, nobody's saying anything there, so I assume that everybody's getting them. And we'll just let you look at your leisure. And if you're not getting them, just send me an email and we'll make sure that we've got the correct address. Some of the addresses have changed over the years. I was talking to Steve Brady and I was using the Steve Areno address. He says, it's been 15 years since I've used that. But what I do is I send people emails, I send people through the US mail, call them on the telephone and text them. And so sometimes when they're responding, I'm not sure which one they're responding to. So I just barrage you with stuff. And that goes to back my FAA training days, because not everybody learns the same way, right, Ben? People learn different ways. We try to give you multiple ways to share the information. Speaking of sharing information, now we're down to reports from the field. We're right at 1 hour. understand if you've got to go, but if you'd like to stick around and submit your report to the rest of the group, we'll continue recording. We'll start off with Bill McClum there because you're in my top left-hand corner. Bill, unmute. Unmute, Bill McClum.
How about now?
There you go.
Sorry about that. I just wanted to remind everybody about the parking. The parking, there's still confusion about the yellow lot. And as long as everybody knows where they're supposed to park, it'll work out. But we still have final information to obtain from Sun and Fun. So anyway, have a good time. I'm looking forward to next week.
And it used to be if you had a yellow parking pass that you could park in the public parking, but I think they've done away with that. I'm not sure. But the areas that we cover today are the way that I understand it. So that's the way we'll go from there. Rich Spoiler, comments from the field.
Yeah, just we did the Stallion 51, we did the gliders and all of that. I will be at Sun and Fun all week. I'm camping in Duffy's. Anything you need or anybody needs while you're out there, you know what? Just give me a holler. I'm around.
Okay, so you're saying we might have a crash pad if somebody is ill, they could lay down for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Those are important things. Used to be when Bob Hunt was there and Walt was there, we had those things available. But if you get the feeling poorly or something, don't just leave. Let us know. And like Rich was saying, he is offering at least a place to relax there instead of going all the way home, perhaps an hour away, then you can feel better. Our days are short enough that hopefully you won't get that fatigue, but I warn you about trying to do too many days in a row. It gets a little bit on you. Bob Nacero, comments from the field, unmute your mic, please.
I am unmuted. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, Obi, when I come to help you on that Friday at Glenn's place, I'm just going to bring my camera and tripod. All the camping stuff I'll take on Sunday. Maybe just have one person. It's a one-man setup, but two people do it a lot faster, a lot quicker. Looking forward to Sun and Fun big time. And of course, my eye surgery is the day after I come back to finish my eye. Other than that, looking forward to it, to do video and photo, and I'll be there.
You have another eye surgery?
Yeah, they got to fix the lens. My cataract lens is attached to the top. It's just in there, not 100% flat. It's a slight twist. And then that Tuesday, I come back April 4th. He seats the bottom of the lens in. I'll be back to full vision.
Okay. Once again, I want to remind everybody we've got about 6 or 7 people on the walking wounded list with one malady or another. So just keep the crew that are recovering from various things and undergoing current things, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. We do believe in the power of prayer. Mark, unmute your mic there up in the Carolinas, I think it is, and comments from the field.
Yeah, just looking forward. This will be my first year, so look forward to learning a lot from you guys and meeting you all in person. And I do have a quick question for you, Obi. I'm coming in Thursday night, so I'll be able to, I'll be there at Sun and Fun. So Friday, helping unload stuff and setting stuff up, I'll be there. But where can I get my stuff? Will you be there Thursday to get all my stuff?
I'll be there Friday. So if you can help us unload, we can hand it to you then.
Okay, so
assuming
Thursday,
that Sun and Fun has got everything processed.
Yeah, but so when I get there Thursday, I'll be just out in the cold, or can I get in somehow, or
into the school?
No, not in the school, just into the like my pass and stuff. Will I be able to get
your pass? Will,
yeah,
we'll have all that stuff Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Obi, I think he needs to know that the campus is open. You can get on the grounds.
Oh, yes.
Without
okay,
anything.
So Thursday night, I'll be able to get in Thursday night and get going.
Yeah,
okay.
He won't have a pass.
Yeah. In fact, you won't really be needing passes until Tuesday. I think it might be Monday or Tuesday, but you won't need anything until then.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
Allegedly. Thanks. Okay. They keep changing things up, Mark. I apologize.
Yeah, no problem. So we'll see you guys next week.
Okay, good. And by the way, I've talked to Vicki Sherman about you, and I talked to Ginger Addlestone and all, because I've got you in the PA right now, so they're going to be briefing you on different things, what to do, how to do it, and all that stuff. So if you get the same information, hopefully it's the same information a couple of different ways. That's because I've asked everybody to help you learn the chairs there, okay?
Sounds good. All right, appreciate it.
Jack Mendez, comments from the field.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Looking forward to next week. Here in the Daytona Beach area, we had a RSAT meeting at the Ormond Beach Airport on March 10th. Vicki and I both attended that. And we have a safety meeting next Tuesday, which is an odd date for us. We normally are the fourth Tuesday, but it overlaps with Sun and Fun this year. And so on Tuesday, we've got Mark Sherman, medical examiner, going to be talking about your meds and how to get your certificates, et cetera, without any issues. And other than that, that's about it for me.
Okay. And Vicki, I'm going to skip. For some reason, they put all the telephone things down at the bottom on the screen. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm not going to punish you anymore because you're at the bottom. I'm going to jump a little ahead there and give you a chance to make comments from the field, because that you could tag on with what Jack just said there.
Jack gave a good update what's happening up here in this area. We don't have to deal with the bikers anymore. We had bike week last week, but everything's going on course. Things are busy at the airport, and we'll be doing our thing next month again. And I look forward to seeing all of you folks down at Sun and Fun. It'll be my 40th year, by the way, volunteer year.
Wow. Vicki, we've got that show up at Daytona still, is that right?
Yeah, the DeLand Sport thing. Yeah, I don't have the dates in front of me, but I did pass that on to you.
Yeah, I think it's on the schedule, but I've got it off to the side, so I just want to make sure. Vicki's always been a strong supporter up in that area, and it's important. People like Joel and Bill up there in Jacksonville and Vicki there, that y'all keep us apprised of what's going on in your local area, so we can add things in or at least maintain the support that we've had in the past. Okay, now, George, you're on my screen next. George Bartuska, comments from the field, updates.
Yeah, I just want you to know I looked through the links in Bob Jeck's document for the Sun and Fun, what's that called, a TAR? There's no map in there like we're looking for of an updated map of the Sun and Fun layout. So you might want to see if you can get the latest and greatest and send it to us, the TFR.
Okay, and what we will do is whenever we go around and pick up the brochures, which we get a limited number of those, they'll usually have the maps inside, and we'll take a couple of maps and put it on the walls like we did last couple of years. Warning about putting things on the walls, though. The signs that we've had on the wall coming down the hallway there, we're not going to put on the halls anymore, because last year, even though we used gaffer's tape, some of the paint came off. So we've got, thanks to the sign shop, the A-frame signs that we just sit out there. They're about 4 foot high, and they've got our logo and arrows there. So once again, thanks for that support. Benji Coleman, comments from the field.
Yeah, Obi, I just might make note that sometimes these monthly calls seem to meander and wander and go on forever, but it's so important that there might be one piece of information that you're able to glean and take away from it. And besides, this is practically the only forum that we get as a group to collectively see each other. So it's important, and I just wanted to make a comment on that to some of our new folks. Mark tweet, sometimes it might seem like a big waste of time, but it's time we're very well spent. The important thing is, let's remember again, and I always throw this up there, Obi, sometimes we get wrapped up around the axle with trying to make things perfect, and we got to remember this is sun and fun. Let's have fun. It's going to be a lot to absorb. There's a lot of things changing. The whole situation is shifting to the east for sun and fun, and it's not going to be a few more years, and hangar buildings A, B, C, and D are going to be gone. So there's going to be a lot of changes, and it is shifting again toward the east. So right now the yellow lot is way out in Timbuktu. Won't be long before the yellow lot will be the new green lot. So let's just all kind of pay attention to that, and just kind of relax. If something's on, leave it on. If something's off, leave it off. And before you move something or touch something, ask somebody that knows. So enjoy it, and let's have a good time. And I'm going to try to step up my end of the operation to be a little more serious, not to the point of being death-defying, but less jovial. But we do need to keep it entertaining for our folks, and just keep it flowing. And I look forward to working with Tweet and my twin sister, and working up some really good avenues to make our guests feel welcome and pull just as much information out of them as we can. That's it.
All right. Thanks, Benji. Once again, I'm going to jump what I normally do, because Steve's normally at the end of this, Steve Graff. I don't know if he can speak, or sometimes he says he just listen what's going on. But Steve is the guy who's working year round, and he works on the managing safety recordings along with our voiceover up there in Chicago. And then he also does an awful lot of work early in the morning and late evening, putting the slideshows together and putting music with them. And which, by the way, Steve, I did add 2 more people with the G. Michael Productions Library. Rich Spoiler up there at the top of the screen, who's a photographer. And the other guy from Tampa over there, which I can't remember his name right now. But anyway, I did add in a couple more people for doing some slideshow editing. Now, it's getting to a point that I just can't do everything. Neither can Steve, but as a team, if we work together, we can make this happen. Steve, you got any comments from the field, or comments period?
Yeah, actually can today. First thing is that, yeah, working on the intro and outro for the new managing safety stuff. I'll get that hopefully before I come down. I'm driving down. Don't need all the parking spaces you've got me in, because I'm camping. And I've still got a hotel room, the Home 2 Suites over in whatever that place is. It's a nice place. It's got a king size bed and a fold out couch and a little kitchenette and breakfast in the morning. I'm going to get rid of it if nobody needs it. It's like $340 a night plus tax. I've got it from Sunday through the following Monday. So I'm going to get rid of it tomorrow or Monday if I don't hear from anybody who might need it or know anybody who needs it. And that's all I got.
Anybody online need a suite there, $340 a night or something? It's over there at the where Brebello's is, where the Marriott is, where lots of restaurants, and it's a good location.
That's $340 a night, not $340 a week.
Yeah, they keep raising their prices. It's like, for me, for that whole thing, it's over $3,000 now. It used to be I did it under $1,000 way back in the day, but now they just keep raising the prices down there. It's time to camp again.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
And I'm staying at the Swan Bin, but they don't have a telephone that answers. You have to text everything. So it's kind of a third world place. But it's just one step above camping, but not much of a step. And it's close to 2,000.
Our inn is full, or else you'd be welcome here, but we're capacity.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, I think next year might rent a house or something. Okay, let me see. John Tenney, did I ask you for comments yet? The screen keeps moving around on me.
No, but I have nothing pertaining to Sun and Fun. The only thing I want to stress is that this group will be meeting after Sun and Fun on April 5th. So if you're welcome to come to Hangar Talk. That's
Oh, okay, sure. That's a unique setup that he's got going there. It's casual, like the old school of hangar flying, sitting out front in the rocking chair, watching the planes take off and land. It's a neat, it's a same important safety information, but in a different format.
Yeah, Diego came last month, I think. No, he's not in this picture, but he said, this is great, but the FAA will never go for it.
And at the beginning of the meeting, I mentioned that Diego is doing a presentation today. Joel Hargis is doing Young Eagles today, and Ramona's running around getting food shipped stores for next week. Tweet Coleman. What we'll try to do is send you a copy of what Steve is working on whenever he finishes it up, so you can see what we're talking about. Because a lot of this stuff, the process takes a few months to go through everything to get you totally up to being a host. But we try not to just bombard you with everything at once, because it's overwhelming, but have fun while we're doing it. And at the same time, it's pretty special once you get all the way up there.
Mm-hmm. I just had one comment. I sent you an email earlier this morning, Obi, that on at Sun and Fun on Wednesday, March 29th, the 99s are going to honor the John and Martha King, and they're going to be a speaker at the luncheon. Is it possible somebody could go over and cover that? And
it's already assigned. If you look at our
okay, good.
If you look at our schedule, Ramona's going there. I don't have a photographer yet, but she can usually do stuff with, well, she'll have her phone there. And that's on Wednesday, you say?
Yes, Wednesday.
Yeah, that's at 11:30 until 1:30, would you believe?
Correct. Yeah.
But Robin Hatfield, who is the president of the 99s, even though their luncheon is 11:30 to 1:30, at 12:45 she'll be at our studio. So what I asked Ramona to do is just walk over with her to the studio, and that way, yes, we're supporting them and all the other organizations that we can, but we just can't be everywhere at once. But we've got that covered, and a lot of the other things at the 7:30 meeting in the morning, we'll be covering the changes. If you look at your broadcast schedule, and it's satellite truck is what it says there, but if you look at that, you'll see some of the changes that occur between now and when Sun and Fun happens, and we'll try to capture them there. But it's just getting to the point we can't update everything, and we're just going to rely on our 7:30 meetings like we used to. Anything else, Tweet?
No, I'm working. I'm the vice president now of our aviation group here in the Villages. So we have over 100+ members. And so I'm working on getting an affiliate status for us.
Great. In the meantime, could you send out an email to all your members saying, please go online and
support that? Yeah.
Subscribe. Yeah, you go to the YouTube and subscribe. You just click that. That helps us with the marketing and stuff. In the past, we haven't paid that much attention to that because we are network concept rather than a channel concept, but we're also moving from that. Okay, George says he's got to go there. Okay, Ted's iPhone. Ted's comments from the field.
Hey guys, no, nothing much. I enjoyed being out at Stallion 51 and at the glider port last week. That was fun, and just look forward to seeing everybody out at Sun and Fun. So,
hey Ted.
Okay.
Hey Tweet.
Good deal. Thank you so much. And Larry Moore is trying to hook up with a little cart like you've got, Ted, because he just can't walk like he used to either. It affects all of us, you know, age does and different maladies and all. So he's going to get with Dave Shellbetter and see about Don's old cart in the meantime. So I think they've got them for rent out there, but
they do.
A little austere now.
I looked up the prices for renting a cart out there, and they are very expensive. I think it's something like $70 a day. I think's what I saw. So if you can rent from a local dealer or something like that, you'll probably get something cheaper.
Yeah.
So, okay.
All right. Joel Weaner, are you gone or are you still there? I think he's gone. Okay. Walt Schimmel, are you still there? I think he's gone. And Bob Jicks, I think, is gone. Brian Purdy, there you are. Comments from the field. Brian, unmute. Brian Purdy, unmute. He's probably working this morning. He is an aircraft dispatcher from Ted's iPhone to everyone. I'm off. Okay. That's kind of neat. It sends those messages. Asked to unmute. Boom. I'm not getting anything from Brian. Hopefully he will be down early in the week and help us transport, because his truck is the one that we're using to move this stuff from the studio. We'll load up at the studio first, then we'll come over to my house and load up the stuff there. So I appreciate the people that help us load, unload there. Are there any other comments from the field from anyone?
You know what, Obi? I talked to Barbara Walter Phillips the other night, and her teacher's thing happening on Saturday morning. Jean promised her a tram to go from the 727 up to the flight line at 7:45 in the morning. And her teachers are going to have breakfast inside the C5 on the Warburg ramp.
Really?
That's what's been promised.
At 7:45, they're going to run an additional tram or in lieu of tram?
For her teachers to get from the 727 up to the C5.
Wow.
Because I told her I'd be up there already doing the balloon launch and that, and I'll just walk over to the C5.
Now, this is Saturday morning?
Saturday morning.
Now, is she going to take all the teachers or just a small group?
The ones that Barbara has signed up for her teachers.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes more sense, because usually it's a big gaggle, you know. Oh, yeah. Look, there's tweets. You need to put tweet and somebody on your sign in there so we'll know. All right. Anything else from anyone about anything? If not, thoughts and prayers for all of those that need it, including us, because we'll need it as we go through this week. Remember, like Ben says, it's sun and fun, so have fun. Pace yourself. It wears on you after 2 or 3 days. I can't lift as much as I used to. I can't climb at all, probably. By the way, Glenn Lowry was climbing up this week, working on a install with one of the local TV stations, and fell and broke 3 ribs. So just put him in double thoughts and prayers, because he's pretty much injured up. Glenn has always donated $15,000 to $18,000 per year to us to do what we're doing. And he will eventually be selling his studio and giving that up, but he's promised us to continue support even after he sells the studio. That's what makes the Florida Aviation Network unique. It's you people that continue supporting us for years and years, like Steve Graff down there and John Carter, who went through initial training and learning to fly, went through training with other people there, and come back year after year to support us. We can't say thanks enough. Brian Purdy, did you ever unmute? He did not. Okay. Any other closing comments? Nope. See y'all next time.
See ya.
Righto.
See ya, Ben.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Take care. See ya.